Guys, welcome to Prime Dude TV. It's Rob here, and I've been looking forward to talking about this for a while because social media, specifically Twitter, is out of control, giving people and guys terrible advice, and dating and relationships are no exception. It might be the worst area these guys or these anonymous accounts of nobodies try to cover.
You guys want to make out or what?
We're going to talk about it. I'm going to get into four things. Four things specifically they do that are absolutely awful. I'm going to cover them specifically. Number one, we're going to talk about the word seduction. I'm going to get into why that is creepy and odd and going to show you what these guys are teaching you and how wrong they are. Number two, we're going to talk about this Casanova concept. There are literally accounts, again, anonymous, pretty much fake people that call themselves Casanovas and in the dating advice realm are teaching some of you how to be one. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. We're going to get into it. Three, and a really cringe one, is this idea of women and body count and how guys are going about labeling and expecting certain things in this area. And it's a big strikeout. It's ridiculous. And it's something we're going to have to chat about because these guys, these dating advice, relationship Casanovas are really hammering this. And they're actually using the acronym DTF. It's not high school. Finally, and maybe the most cringe, I can only pick one as far as specific advice they give you Casanovas out there. I'm going to talk about it and conclude the show on this number four. It's a bad one. It's a terrible one. And if you want to feel like and look like a stalker out in public, then go ahead and do this. We're going to talk about it. Let's get into the show. So here they are, the womanizers of Twitter, the guys, even if they're guys, anonymous from faraway lands who are telling you 5,000 followers that they are experts on how to be a womanizer. Yeah, there's no such thing as a womanizer anymore. I wanted to cover that before we get into number one. That's ridiculous. You're not one. I'm not one.
Take it easy.
And believe me, I know what one would be. I've maybe seen or heard of it, and they don't succeed. And again, it's all about results. These guys don't show any. That's what it's all about on Twitter, right? It's all about anonymous. The fashion gurus that are anonymous don't know what they're talking about. The same thing goes for these guys and their dating advice. So let's take a look real quick at Twitter. This is one of the best things. You can scroll through, guys, and you see stuff like this all day long on one particular tweet talking about what a woman wants. These guys, these womanizers do not know what women want. They have no idea because they've never been with a woman and they don't show any results. They're not married. They don't have girlfriends. We know this because if they did, they'd be able to allude to it like I do. I share things about my family carefully, but I have what it takes. I've done it, been there, made all the mistakes. That's why I'm here trying to stop you guys from making the same ones. Boy, I didn't have social media, and when it was available, I was already married. But there's no way I'd follow this crap. You got to know better. And to tell a guy that women want a guy that can pick them up during sex. These people have no idea. I know where this person's probably from. They're not from a place where clearly consent is a major watch out and an important thing. Because just talking about what a woman wants puts you on a major slippery slope, especially when you don't know what you're talking about, especially when you have 5,000 followers. Or how much does this cat have? Latina Casanova. So it's a female Casanova, I guess. Learn to seduce. Okay, we're going to jump right into seduce now. But this person has 227,000 followers. 227,000 followers. That's embarrassing.
Nerd alert!
If any of those are real, it's scary that this seducer advice person is telling them what to do. And let's get into the word seduce. It's a perfect opportunity to show you why these accounts are so dangerous. Because seduce sounds like sedate. It has that connotation. There's absolutely no reason anybody is out there seducing anyone. You have never seduced a woman. I've never seduced a woman. There is no dominant male seduction artist out there. That was some BS nonsense that came out in the early 2000s about these pickup artists and seduction artists, and it was based on a BS article, I think the New York Times. These guys were dorks. They didn't know what they were doing. They were out there claiming to be these pickup artists and seducing women with all these tricks. And of course, some of the things they shared were kind of obvious. You know, the backhanded compliment thing, be careful. If you're not funny, you can't be funny. If you're not interesting, you can't be interesting. That's another show. You are what you are. If you do interesting things, you live an interesting life, then you might be interesting to a woman or other people. The same thing goes with seduction. You go out and try to employ seduction tactics as some Casanova, you're in deep trouble. There's absolutely no way you're going to succeed. None of these guys have. All their lists, all their tips and tricks, when I look at one in particular, do not work. So do not think of seduction when you think about a woman, especially getting to know a woman. It doesn't happen. It doesn't work. It's 2024. Get over it, grow up, and get off of these sites. On to number 2. Ah, yes, we got a list for you. And this is similar to the Casanova concept I mentioned, right? We saw Latina Casanova, an account that is maybe correct with advice 1 out of 10 times because it's not a woman. It's an anonymous dude from who knows where, who's never been on a date, who's never had any luck with women, and isn't like me, married or have a girlfriend. So here's a list. They love lists. This is the alpha list. How to be alpha. 11 things to do or don'ts, as this genius says. And they always put up some kind of Hollywood character, somebody that we would aspire to be that doesn't exist, or somebody real that is ripped and shredded and is a great standard to maybe aspire to physically. I mean, this guy's fit, that's great. You like tattoos, that's great. All you got to do is don't do these 11 things and you're going to have it made. Who's telling you? What results are they showing that they can teach you to be like this guy or to be like Mr. Peaky Blinders? Great actor, love this guy. But not somebody I'm going to have the same results as. Sorry. And I got a lot of things I bring to the table even at 47.
I'm old.
But it ain't happening even at 27. Okay? I'm not like him. As I talk about in another show, I'm not Tom Cruise, and I can't sing to a woman at a bar and score, even though these examples talk about be like Maverick. Okay, maybe I can act like him, except I'm not a naval aviator, and I don't land my F-18 or my F-14 that is probably 60 years old, if you've seen Maverick, on an aircraft carrier without my front landing gear. Yeah, that's not us.
You can be my wingman anytime.
So when Pete Mitchell, aka Maverick, walks into a bar, he's going to do better than any of us. That's the way it is. So acting like him isn't going to help you. Acting like a Peaky Blinder or acting like some UFC fighter or ripped up boxer isn't going to help you. You're never going to be that masculine. And if you try to be, it's weird. And the Casanova thing, guys, Casanova, it's almost as weird as the term seduce because it really never existed. It's an age-old story concept about a womanizer with all the game. You're never going to be like it. And these people telling you you can be like Casanova, they're wrong. They're not like Casanova. Casanova would be weird and cringe and freaky to be around in today's world, like it or not. And I kind of like it that way. I don't want to be in a world where I got a bunch of guys, we all know them. Maybe you're one of them, and no one likes you. The guy that's Mr. Wine Expert because you read a few things and you wear your blazer to a bar, and you're Mr. Pickup Guy. You might have some luck once in a while, but it's not sustainable because you're not as interesting as you're pretending to be.
You dick!
And you're not a Casanova even though you're trying to be one, and that's good. Don't be. Be genuine, be yourself, be confident, be masculine, and be successful. Get off of these accounts. Anytime you can, guys. Right now would be a great time to like, subscribe, follow this show. I'm giving you gold. These aren't opinions. This is fact. What I'm sharing on dating and relationships is absolutely fact. It works. I have the results. I'm sharing you the things that I did wrong, too, in other shows. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to be vulnerable because men, true alphas, are vulnerable and learn from their mistakes and do not strive to actually be perfect. We try to get close, but you're not going to get there and certainly aren't going to get there in relationships if you follow these Twitter accounts. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Prime Dude TV is on it. Check out my website. I will have an article on this, and if I've already published it, it'll be down in the link below. I've also got a book down there that I think you should read. I'm looking at a few. I haven't even decided which one, but by the time I produce this, it'll be down there. So thanks again for tuning in, guys, and as always, be smart, stay prime.